Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti, your dating and relationship coach, founder of ApolloniaPonti.com, and welcome to today's video. In this video, we are going to talk about how to know if a woman is insecure. But before we get started, please take the time, if this is your first time visiting, to subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel so you can get up-to-date daily notifications and dating and relationship advice. So I am going to help you men find out if a woman is insecure by giving you some actionable tips to look for so you know if a woman is insecure. But first, I want to be really cautious about something in this video. Dating a woman that is insecure, I understand, can be completely rough, really can. And at the end of the day, I want to encourage you men that if you see a woman that is insecure, or if you're dating a woman that is insecure, that you challenge her to work on that so she can show up as a better woman for you. This video is not meant to bash other women, but it's meant for you to see and detect these signals of an insecure woman, to see if this is somebody that you actually want to be with, and if you do, how you can impact them to make them grow as a person so they're not insecure. Because if you get into a relationship with a woman that is insecure, just like an insecure man, it can revolve around a very toxic relationship, and it can be really draining, and it doesn't become a healthy relationship. So let's move forward and talk about those signs of an insecure woman. Tip number 1 is she gets very jealous easily about every little thing. Maybe even times where you don't even give her anything to be jealous about. She might be going through your phone. She might be looking at your Instagram. She might be looking at your Facebook. That shows a huge lack of insecurity. Typically, this happens with a woman if it's her first relationship, or if she's been cheated on in the past and she hasn't worked through that healing process and forgiving process. But also, I don't want to go into it because that's a new video, but if you gave her a reason to feel insecure, then this is your time to take a step back and fix that together so these things don't come up. But tip number 1 is that she will go above and beyond to find something of you talking to another woman, and you will notice that she will talk about these things with you, like, are you cheating on me? Or who is this girl on Instagram? And she will constantly bring this up. Tip number 2 is she will text you crazy things like, oh my gosh, this guy is hitting on me at the bar. Or she'll come home and say, this guy asked me for my number, but I thought he was single, but I told him I wasn't single. Things like this, because she's trying to get your attention because there's a lack of insecurity from within her. The biggest reason why women do this is because they feel insecure and they don't know if they really have love from you. And I want to tell you one thing, men. Yes, you should show love for your woman, but at the same time, if you're showing love for your woman that you're in a relationship with, then she's still doing this, there's a lack of insecurity. And the best response I'm going to give you right now that you can do in any of these tips when she shows you any of these things is just tell her, you need to work on your own insecurities, because everything that you are creating in your head is completely nonsense, and I'm just not going to tolerate it. So how are you going to move forward? So not only are you mentioning what is going on in her life as an insecurity, you are also setting standards and boundaries for yourself on the second verse. And the third one is you're putting it back on her by putting accountability on her. A lot of times you get into relationships and you take the accountability. But remember, a lot of times I talk about this in another video, I talked about individuality in a relationship. You are your own individual, and you can't convince someone to change unless they want to change themselves. If they change themselves, then it becomes impactful. If they change because you want them to change, it is only a Band-Aid, and it's not impactful, and the Band-Aid will be revealed as time goes on. Tip number 3. She will actually talk to other men for attention. She might just say they're friends and she wants the attention. Okay, here's the thing. If this is happening, it needs to be cut off immediately. You do not deserve to be disrespected in a relationship, and this is a huge sign of disrespect if a woman is doing this in your relationship right now. An insecure woman is not someone that should be talking to someone else, especially if you're in a relationship, even if they're friends. If this is a best friend that you've known and you feel comfortable around, she's introduced you to, that's something different. But if she's just randomly hanging out with her girlfriends and hanging out with guys all the time too, then this needs to in half. Tip number 4. This happens a lot when you're dating and you're in the process of dating a woman, is she becomes very clingy and needy of your time and your affection. So when you are, let's just say, courting her, planning those dates with her, she is going to do little subtle things of saying, why don't you spend more time with me? Or she's going to show you little insecurities, like you do things, you pick other things before you pick me, and you're giving time and you're devoting some time to her. Maybe you're a busy man with a busy schedule, like your work life, and you have to create a work-life balance for yourself. So you incorporate dates with her and you plan things out, but it's just not good enough for her. And she is putting it back on you as if you are not validating her self-worth. So meaning, do you even like me? Asking her these questions when she asks you these questions and then you just become blindsided and you're like, what do you mean? I've been calling you. We go out on dates all the time. So it's letting her insecurities get the best of her. If this happens, I challenge you men to really sit down and ask her the right questions, right? So why is this coming up for you? I like you, but this is not going to be tolerated in our relationship. Like, I'm a busy guy and I'm doing this for you and I'm planning out times. I'm trying to get to know you and I'm taking baby steps into this relationship, but this stops here. Like, you need to fix what it is that you need to fix, and this will stop right here. So if you need to and want to move forward with me and progress in a relationship with me, then I challenge you to heal whatever it is that you need to be healed. This is so impactful because a woman will show up because not only do you motivate her to show up because she has feelings for you and she wants to be with you, but it also challenges her to change into a better person and to grow into a better person in order to have that healthy relationship with her. Because there's a lot of times you'll see memes online where it's like two people get in a relationship and right behind them is all their baggage. Well, it's true. You bring in a lot of baggage in your relationship. So it's really important that when you get into the next relationship and you see those subtle signs, then it's important that you challenge that person. There's nothing wrong with speaking up, men, and challenging them with respect and challenge that woman to grow just like she should challenge you to grow. Relationships aren't meant to be perfect. And if you can see through the eyes of compassion, and as long as she's not disrespecting you intentionally and not disrespecting you really at all, then challenge her, because these are inside wounds that she needs to heal so she can show up to be that best woman that she can. I've seen this so many times where men are dating and they challenge women, and then a year later, I get a wedding invite and and I meet them for their wedding, and it's like they're two different people, and it's just so beautiful what two humans can do. Tip number 4. She gets defensive really easily. So what I mean by this is she feels like you're always attacking her, right? So she might feel like you're already attacking her, you're pointing the fingers at her. So she naturally just reads way too much into things and takes offense to personal things that wasn't even personal for her, but she takes it personally because there's a lack. So you can't void a lack of someone, because when someone says something that can really infuriate the other person and you don't even mean it to, because it comes from respect and it's just something you're talking about, and she gets defensive, then this is a sign that she might be insecure with something that's going on in her life. And tip number 5, not only does she need validation, but she belittles other people, meaning she talks bad about other women. You might be out to restaurants and you see this beautiful woman that passes by and she's like, oh, she's so ugly. And she points those things out because she might be a little bit jealous and insecure herself. So a lot of women will be pointing out flaws of other beautiful women because they feel insecure themselves. And it's sad to say that this does happen, but this woman can grow from it. So not only does she seek validation from you, but she points out the flaws in everybody else. And lastly, I'm going to give you a bonus tip, because I think I started this video with 5 tips, but I can't remember. That's what I get from I don't script my videos. I just do this full on force. But bonus tip, let's just say number 6, is she is an overreactive queen. So she overreacts about everything, and this is baseline from immaturity. And this happens a lot with a woman when she's in her 20s, and it does happen with women when they're older, let's be honest, but it comes from a stem of immaturity, but a stem of insecurity as well. So overreacting queen means she yells, she throws tantrums, she throws fits, and if she does, men, Do not tolerate this behavior. I have to say this so much because you set the tone for relationships just like a woman can set the tone for a relationship. You have to hold each other accountable. So if you are dating a woman that has tantrums and is an overreactive queen and you really don't have feelings for her, okay, then maybe it's time to let go. But if you're in this relationship, then it's time to challenge her to grow up and walk away and give her space to grow up. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, I love hearing from you. So share your comments, questions, concerns, and I have something very special for you today as well. I have a 20-question manual to get to know a woman's true self that I'll put down below in the description box so you can download it. And it helps you really ask those questions to really get to know a woman and see where she is in life. And as always, I'll see you again in the next video. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.